On today's episode of Beauty Behind the Brand, we're going to talk about inventory. I know that's not the most glamorous topic, but it's definitely something that you need to know with your product business and or your spa or salon. So let's dive in. Inventory, I swear, will be the death of me when it comes to our e-commerce business as well as our spa and salon. But over the years, we have come up with systems that have definitely made it easier and also saved us money. There's different softwares as well as technology that can help you in all the ways to manage your inventory. So let's dive into some of the things that I absolutely love when managing software when it comes to inventory. Now, for those listeners, you know how much of a fan I am of Mangomint, and Mangomint makes inventory so easy for our salon and spa, I guess. If whatever technology you're using for the spa, I personally love it because whether they're purchasing e-commerce on our website at the spa, it is already updating our total inventory as well as product sales. So someone's coming in to purchase a cleanser or the person who's purchasing a product online, they're actually being deducted off of that inventory on both ends on Mangomint because it is linked to our Shopify website. So it's a win-win. That was the hardest thing for us with any other technology that we had, where the inventory was going and how to track it with online sales as well as in-person sales. Now with inventory that we have for our product line business, we are using Shopify there now as well. We were using Squarespace, but with all the different layers that we had with retail, wholesalers, and distributors, we needed a new updated software that could actually grow with our business as well as make it very customizable on all of those platforms for our team. Now, I know a lot of you may use QuickBooks or Square, different softwares. These are what we use at our spa salon, and they have worked the best. Now, categorizing your inventory, it is a great way to actually create categories. So for us, we love to use nails, lashes, any like brow products, anything that's kind of facial products, anything that's categorized, also the retail versus back bar, all the things. And that is actually headers within our inventory list on our Google spreadsheets. We use an actual Google spreadsheet for our back bar products. It's a great way for us to know what's being used each month. Our spa manager goes in usually on weekends to do that, so things aren't getting pulled as she's doing inventory. This is a great way as well to see what kind of inventory you're needing to keep on hand and how fast that inventory is being used. I know some of the products you may use at your spa or salon have expiry dates, and it's really important to make sure that you're not sitting on a lot of inventory. That is the biggest mistake I made when owning my spa and the operation side was I always thought more was better. And then looking back, you realize that you're sitting on a huge amount of money and also your insurance too, right? Like if anything, God forbid, ever happened or something, the place burnt down or something happened, you're sitting on all of that inventory. Obviously you have insurance, but at all times, you don't know what's sitting there. And these spreadsheets are great to know that and actually being able to have that proof of what's updated each month. Now, inventory does take time, but I think if you have a system like we do at the spa of actually having everything categorized, things are counted, even the nail polish, as well as even files, knowing how much you're going through each month. Also your team, I mean, we've never had it before of team members ever taking any inventory or stealing, but this is a really good way to make sure you're tracking and managing that. Also, if there's any sales or items that are on sale with maybe some of your distributors, this is a great opportunity to be able to purchase those on a monthly basis or earning different points or rewards that they may also offer. Regular stocking. So you really want to make sure that you're keeping track of your stocked items. So right now we're in summer, right? So we're going through a lot of wax, and we know the wax sticks, for example, are not going bad. So we want to make sure that we have enough of those that we don't need to repurchase again and again. Trying to find also distributors where you can save maybe some of those shipping costs or minimum orders. Just making sure that you have what you need in order to do your services, which is so important. Something that we also realized too with our product line business is it's really important for us to make sure that when we're doing a sale or we're doing a special, we know that we have enough inventory before we're even promoting those items or those services, knowing that we have enough products to be able to offer that. Another thing we always look at is analyzing the products that are not being used. We really did an overhaul on our services and the menus that were going in and out of our spa, and realizing which services we were no longer really needing or really offering that needed to have its own subline on our spa menu. Sure, people can ask for it for requests, maybe some of our different back facials that we offer, for example, but we were holding on to so much inventory for these specific services, or we were just sitting on inventory that was then expiring and we were having to throw out. Also, being really direct on your product usage with training employees, knowing how much per service for a cleanser, how much you need, how much exfoliation do you need, whether that's even a lash lift with the Muskoka Beauty products, how many pumps do you need for each application. So we really honed in on that on our product line with Muskoka Beauty to make it easy for training, as well as no product waste with a lot of our lash lift products, for example, that are all airtight sealed with the pumps. And with those, you really want to make sure that you're not wasting any product. Wasting product, that's wasting money. And with your training and onboarding, if you can have step per step in your protocols, whether that's videos or writing, to make sure that your employees actually know what they should be using and how much product they should be going through for each one, keeping that consistent without any hiccups with employees. Now, that also goes to knowing your product profit and loss for each service. So when you have your service, you, for the most part, you know how much that service is costing you, right? And a lot of that is to do with the products that are being used in that service. So that keeps it consistent within knowing how much product is being used. I know hydrofacial, for example, a lot of my staff who have used those in the past, it's so hard to make sure you're not using too much serum or too little serum. And that's one of the most expensive things when offering that service. So that service could be costing you $40+ per service when operating, but it could be costing you more or less because of the amount of product being used, for example. So yes, inventory and training and the purpose of using product is so important, and not letting anything go to waste. We're in such a wasteful industry, which is so sad to think about, but you just want to make sure that you're using every bit of product possible without having to throw it out. Or even waxing, I think about that with, like, of course we can't double dip, but knowing how much wax you can actually pull up on that wax stick to get good use out of that wax stick, and strip as well for wax training, for example. Within our e-commerce business, inventory, like I said, is one of the hardest things for us. If people need to repurchase or something wasn't in their order, and resending it out, like lots of sticky notes everywhere. But with Shopify, it's made it really easy for recording and automatically updating in the system. Warehouse organization, oh my gosh, that is, I swear, some of the videos I post on Instagram of our reels, if you haven't checked them out on Muskoka Beauty, it is crazy sometimes in there. And I like film these videos and I'm like, this is the real authentic side. We've got boxes everywhere. We've got things that are half open, half closed. We don't really have a system, honestly, in the warehouse. It's whatever product is in, whatever product is out, whatever needs to be reordered. A lot of the time, now that I've had that business for 5 years plus, I now have an idea of what products need to be used and which need to be reordered, and roughly how long our manufacturers take to actually reorder, as well as shipping and creating the product. Or if there's little tweaks or product changes we need to do, I usually know offhand how many months that takes. Now, for those who are thinking about starting a product line or wanting to know about how many units they need to purchase, one of the biggest questions you need to ask your manufacturers is what the minimum order quantity is. Because when you get low on, let's say, our lash cleanser, for example, you really want to make sure you don't have to order like 500 units at a time. Let's say if you're a smaller company, see if you can order 100 units at a time instead of that massive amount that you're going to be sitting on that inventory, as well as the cost sitting there, like I said before. And warehouse space, we're basically paying for storage. So we have a very small warehouse. Like, I don't know, it might be like, I don't even know how many square feet it would be roughly. I'm thinking it'd probably be 350, 400 square feet, if that. I don't even think it's 400 square feet, but it is small in there. Actually, yeah, it's probably 300. Yeah, 300 square feet, let's say. But it is small in there. And I'm paying for every little square inch of that place. And it needs to be organized. I need to know what product's sitting there. I need to know what needs to be ordered when. Also, if I'm away and the girls need to actually come in and help me fill orders, it is in somewhat of an organized fashion for them to know where the products are and easy to reach. We came up with a system too. We have like a center island in the middle that helps us make it really easy to grab and grab products when filling orders. You want to make sure that everything's accessible, everything's easy to use. Even it's so nice to be able to drive up to our to our storage unit, because before I was in a basement storage unit and I would have to lug everything out of my car, go down a conveyor belt, go down these crazy stairs, and or if I had to lug boxes up in orders, and the hours of operation of that building were not ideal. So if you're looking for warehouse space, really make sure that you have somewhere that you can drive up to. The hours of operation are your flexibility. It is actually not damp, not too dry. It is like an eco-friendly, what is it called? Climate control, I think. It's all climate controlled, especially if you're selling any liquids out of there. It's really important to make sure that everything's controlled and it's at a perfect humidity. There's just so many things when it comes to warehousing and organization, and really making sure that you've got your numbers. There's times when I'm like, oh, I've ordered something, and then I found another box of that same cleanser somewhere where then I just ended up purchasing twice the amount of product that I didn't need. So yeah, we do a lot of counting in there just to double check on numbers, because you never want to run out of things. And also just knowing your lead time with distributors. Some of my manufacturers, let's say, take 2 to 3 months to do orders. And sometimes my distributors are purchasing hundreds of units and I need that product right away. So that is something that you'll learn throughout the years of how your product purchases go or how low. Like I know, for example, how many units when we get low on adhesives, how early and how soon I need to start purchasing those adhesive again to make sure that the longevity of that product's there, especially for our clients purchasing, because I want to make sure that they have the freshest glue possible. Sign up for a free trial of Mangomint today and tell them you heard about them on this podcast. You'll get a second month free. We highly recommend you jumping on board of Mangomint because it has changed our brick and mortar and our spa location for the better. It has taken the guessing work out of everything with their reporting, admin, and clients absolutely love it. So make sure to mention that you listen to this podcast and they will give you a 1 extra free month. So that's 2 extra months that they are offering you through Mangomint. There is no risk. It's easy onboarding and their customer service is absolutely outstanding. So make sure to email them today and hear more about Mangomint from our podcast. Yeah, it's regular audits on inventory. That is one of my biggest stressors, I would say, with owning a product line business, is not running out of product and not overbuying product. If you're wanting to get rid of product, that's another thing we've done at the spa, as well as the product line business, is if you're trying to get rid of product, try to bundle it together, try to do like a warehouse clearance sale, reach out to other spas and salons who might also be interested in purchasing some of that product, or if something's getting low on expiry date, be transparent with people purchasing. Just say like needs to go, blowout sale, and then you can list in the descriptions what that expiry date is or if people inquire about it. That is something that I find has been really helpful with our essential line, for example, in Muskoka Beauty, is our lip and eye treatments, our glass facial mask, and of course our lash serum. A lot of people like to purchase those all together as like a self-love or self-care routine, as well as gifts for the holiday season. So I know we're like always thinking ahead on different holidays or different things that we need to do, but I find product packaging and bundling is huge. If you can try to make it like a special, it's like a more bang for your buck. It makes it more appealing for them to purchase, or they can then take that bundle apart and gift it in different ways. And also your shipping. So many people ask me questions about shipping. I don't think consumers realize how expensive shipping is. It's always an eye-opening experience when I have the girls from the spa come in to help me fill orders, and they're like, we pay how much for shipping? Or this is how much this costs to ship this out? I'm like, it is expensive and it adds up. So I've learned the hard way with some of our sales. We've done like free shipping plus a discount on product, and you really got to make sure your margin of your product's there, because you can actually lose money in situations like that. Or if things get sent out and then there's like a return, or there's different items that might have been damaged in that shipping, you want to make sure that you have shipping insurance, or the actual company that you're using to ship out is like honest and they're telling you what the proper tracking numbers are. Or if you can't be shipping into certain countries, that it's going to be bounced back basically from the border to come to you, and you have to pay that rate. Like, there is so many expenses that come to shipping, as well as even boxes and like the packing stuff, the labels. There's just so many things that go into shipping. One of the things we try to do, like I said earlier, we're in such a wasteful industry, and we try to reuse as many boxes as possible. It's great with the spa because we do get a lot of orders come in, and I try to repurpose, give a second life to a lot of those boxes and packing material, because it's just going in our landfills. And I don't know about you, but as soon as I open up a box, it basically gets thrown in the recycling, and or I try to repurpose it for another reason. So just be mindful when you are using or distributing product as a product line business. Try to be mindful of the environment as much as possible. I know we're also shipping out with a lot of the most eco-friendly availability, whether that's with Canada Post or Pure Later. We try to do like more of the safer options for I think it's like carbon neutral, it's called. We ship out with that to try to just, help the environment as much as we can. And same with our beauty products. At the spa, we try to find things that we are able to reuse. I know with the health unit and such, it's really hard to find things you can give a second life to, but trying to find things that we can sterilize properly and reuse again. With the actual product line with the spa, I try to find things like the lash lift bottles that are able to be rinsed out and recycled. I know lash trays, that's another huge wasteful product that I find either we relabel them and we can actually give them to our clients at the spa with a mascara wand and a client card. But there's just so many great ways that you can think about making your spa or your product line business as eco-friendly as possible. I feel like that's a topic on its own, but just try to be mindful as much as possible when working in your industry. Something that I find that I really enjoy is real-time updates in your inventory. So trying to make it the same time every month when you're doing those updates on your inventory, you're tracking and making sure that everything is accounted for. So then you can do a proper audit within that next month of what's being used and seeing how fast you're going through product. Barcoding and scanning, that's not something that we really do at the spa. We usually just go off the barcode number. We're not actually scanning, but that's what we're doing our SKU numbers off of. And that can all be entered into Shopify. We did that with Squarespace. Any system usually does some type of a SKU number. Seasonal adjustments, I did mention that with the waxing. You really want to make sure that you're kind of planning ahead. You know which services are your hot items and what season of the year, or if you have a seasonal special going on, just make sure you've got that inventory on hand when possible. Supplier relationships. So I think of myself as obviously a spa owner, but also a product line owner as well. So relationships are so important. And if you find a distributor that's actually not responsive, their customer service isn't great, that's going to leave you in the dust when you really need them the most. Some of the best companies we work with is Lumifarm. Their customer service is outstanding. Same with Sharp Light, our laser company that we deal with. There's so many, and I hope that Muskoka Beauty is one of those for our customers. We respond in real time. If someone didn't get something shipped out, we ship it out that same day or next morning, depending what time of day it is. We try to do the quickest and the fastest shipping when possible, and just making sure that we have things in stock and we're transparent. If we know that sometimes like our pre-made lashes might be taking longer than expected at manufacturers, we let our distributors, wholesalers, and retailers know that when they're asking about when they will be back in stock, or we give them a solution of another product that they could purchase in the meantime. So supplier relationships are so important, as well as yourself. If you are a distributor of a product, just be the best customer service when possible, because you know that they're trying to do their best service on their clients in the most timely fashion as well. Data, trying to analyze your data. So something I really love, and I never thought in a million years I would say this, but your profit and loss at the end of the year or on a monthly basis, look at your inventory, look at how much product you're having to purchase each month, and really kind of look at and see it that it's transparent through those service costing. So if you're spending, let's say $1,000 a month on inventory, just to make it easy math, and you're burning through let's say you're doing 50 grand worth of products 50 grand worth of services a month, that's a really good margin to have. You really want to make sure that your product purchases are not over what you're doing so let's say you spend 5 grand on services or 5 grand on inventory, but you're only doing $2,500 in services. So trying to find that happy medium number where you're not over purchasing on product, but you're not under purchasing as well, and making sure you're actually using up that product when possible. And don't put products on sale if you don't have to. Just try to promote them, try to sell them naturally before just saying, oh, this product doesn't sell and I'm going to throw it on sale, because then you're losing that margin on that product when retailing or using it in your back bar. But education is so important, especially in our industry. Let your clients know why this is the best product and why they should purchase it, why it would benefit their skin. Really be that friend to them and offering the solution that they need for their skincare. But try to bundle. I always say try to bundle things or your promotions or discounts. Try to make it some type of offering or even like a membership style as well. So then you know that reoccurring revenue is coming in month by month. Inventory buffer, high demand. So if you know, for example, like we have some of the DermaQuest pumpkin scrub, that stuff sells like crazy. And we also know it's going to sell even more when we promote the pumpkin during the Halloween, October season, the fall. So really making sure that you have enough inventory when that comes. And that's going back to your data analyzing from the year before, where you could see we sold, let's say 32 of those scrubs in the month of October. Okay, let's make sure that we've got roughly, let's say 20 in stock, and then we can make sure that we have enough in retail in those next further months, but knowing that you're not going to run out. Another thing my girls have done, which I think is brilliant at the spa, is they have a section where clients have already purchased the product, but it hasn't been ordered yet. So it's basically pending. So when we go to do our next order through Luma Farm, we know, for example, that we need to order the delicate cleansing, we need to order the scrub, we need to order these things, but it's on that list. So when they do purchase, we know that, for example, Mary is going to get a notification that those products are now ready for pickup. So we have a really great system on Google Chats with that. And that way you're not losing out on that sale if you don't have that inventory in stock. So those are just some of the tips I have. I feel like your monthly routines is just kind of to overview what I had just mentioned. You want to conduct a full inventory audit, I would say monthly for sure. You want to analyze your sales and your data adjustments when recording. So if there's specific data that you can see from 1 month to this month to last year to the year before, you can really see those. Check your expiry dates on your products. And then if something's getting low on the expiry or close to, let's say some of your chemical peels, do a peel party or do something that you can use up those products as soon as possible so you're not having to throw those out. Review your suppliers, their performance and adjusting orders as needed. So your relationship with any of your suppliers or distributors, really make sure that they've got things in stock, they're not running out of product, or if things are out of stock, they're giving you a solution and or you're able to get those products quite quickly. So those are some of the strategies I like to use with inventory, with my spa, as well as our product line business. Let me know if you have any questions. I feel like that was a lot of information at once for both businesses, but I feel like inventory is so important and it's a service-based business that we're offering and we need products to be able to do our service. So make sure that you're using correct product, you're using as eco-friendly products as possible and products that are sustainable and longevity of results for your clients and things that your technicians also love using and they're going to promote and sell naturally. So let me know if you love this episode. Give us some comments below. Give us a review because we all know that inventory is the only way to run our business smoothly because we need it. So let me know any tips or tricks that you use as well in your inventory data, because I might also need to be using those tips as well. Thank you so much for listening. Love you all so much. Enjoy the rest of your day.